Hey guys, today we're going to learn how to knit. So this is the introduction video where we're going to talk about tips and tricks and what you need to start before we get into the actual knitting. Alright guys, so you're going to need 4 things in order to start knitting. And since this is going to be a new hobby you're going to start on, I would say don't spend more than $15 to $20. So, you're going to need to go to Walmart, and you're going to need to get a big skein of yarn. And you want the yarn to be worsted weight or Aran weight yarn. I just bought acrylic yarn. We're just going to be practicing with this. And it's a great yarn to practice with because you can pull it out and unravel it, and it doesn't mess it up. It's very easy to see. Now, everyone when they're knitting has a different gauge. A gauge, think about it as how many stitches you can fit in an inch. And since everyone knits differently, some people are going to knit tighter and some people are going to knit looser. So this means that everyone really will use a different size needle for worsted weight yarn. So what I recommend is that if you're just new and you're just starting, you're probably going to need around a 5.5 millimeter, which is a size 9, which looks like this. This is a good beginner needle to start with. So pick yourself up a size 5.5 millimeter. Once we get further on in the instruction video, I'll show you how to tell if you're a tight knitter or a loose knitter and what to do about it. The next 2 things you're going to need, you're going to need a pair of scissors. And you're also going to need something called a yarn needle, which is just like a really big needle. Actually, that's exactly what it is. It's not like it. It's a really big needle. So those are the 4 things that you're going to need to start learning how to knit. So now on to the tips. The first tip would be, expect yourself to be pretty horrible at knitting. It took me a good, I would say 8 months to learn to knit a garment that I could wear. I would say I was knitting every weekend of those 8 months. And I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't figure it out. I was watching YouTube video after YouTube video, but I kept doing it, and it took 8 months in order to make a scarf, like a regular run-of-the-mill scarf. So knitting, like any hobby, takes time, perseverance. Some people are just good at it faster than others. I don't know where I fall on that line, if I was good or I was not good. I'm going to go with I was horrible. I found some pictures that I put on my blog of some of the very first things I knit, and I'm going to link them at the very end of this video so you guys can see how absolutely horrible I actually was at knitting. I'm not lying, I was horrible. And that way you won't feel too bad. So I've been knitting now, I believe, since 2012. So it's been quite a while, and I've been crocheting for about 2 years or 3 years now, since probably 2015. Don't quote me on that, it's hard to remember. And the second tip I will give you is, if my video's not working for you, if you are frustrated and you aren't getting it and you're trying it over and over again and it's just not working, switch to a different knitting video for somebody else on YouTube, because knitting is unique. Everyone knits differently. I'm left-handed, some other people are right-handed, some people throw the yarn, some people pick the yarn, and I'll explain that later. So you could learn easier from someone else. If you're frustrated and you can't get it, it could very well be me. It may not be you. So there are tons of knitting tutorials on YouTube, and you can check them out just by typing in Knitting 101 or Learn How to Knit, and you may find another video teaches you better than mine does, and that's perfectly okay. The third and final tip I have for you is just to have fun. Have fun, relax, take a break from knitting, and just have fun with it. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be frustrating. Although I still get frustrated when I'm knitting all the time. But don't tell. I won't tell if you don't. Alright, so we're about to get ready to start knitting with session 1, which is going to be the cast on. And I hope you guys are excited, and I hope you stick around for the full tutorial and that this helps you learn how to knit. Also, all of the videos are linked in the description box, so you can go down and skip around part 1, part 2. Make sure you watch them all in order first. Also, after watching all these videos and completing all the homework projects, you should be able to knit any of my tutorials that I have on here, on YouTube, that you want. Alright guys, so I'm going to go on to part 1, and if you stick around after this, you can see some of my horrible knitting things, projects, stuff. Bye!